Alright, welcome back everybody. We're back working on Emiko from Element Princess. Yeah, decided to start this 3 minutes earlier. So, here's to you guys, to the early birds. Sure, this is paused. Yes, it takes about 20 seconds before it lets me know that we're live. Alright. So, we got a good show for you today. We're going to be working on this character here, Emiko from Element Princess. She's a demon. Kind of a passive, kind of follower type of demon. And the overarching theme that we're going to be covering today is character design. So I'm going to go over some principles, some steps, some tips of character design for you as we go through this. Alright. So if you missed the first part of this, it will be inside the channel page just before this one. Alright, turn on the lines, and yeah, yes. How's everyone doing? Happy holidays! I got music in the background. It is coming through my earphones, actually, not on my head. Hopefully it doesn't trigger any sort of copyright thing. So, for some ambient sound, you know. But look what I did! I barely have any lag. I feel like there really isn't any lag at all. So, there will be lag if I try to do something bigger. That's pretty good. Yeah, there's some lag. See? Yeah. But that's to be expected. So, let's get started. Whoa. Alright, so what do we have left to do? We got the we have the colors, and then we have some of the inks left. And at this stage, that's good. That's good, Wolf. Good to hear. Glad you guys can make it. What I was gonna say was what we have left is just the extra level of detail to bump the drawing up. Pretty much the last part of the inks. So I really hope I don't get trouble. Let me turn it down. I don't risk it too much. Yeah. Because it says if I get another strike, I will be banned from YouTube. So I'm walking a very, very thin line. A very crackly eggshell. So isn't it nice? It's not lagging. So let's just finish up the details. Some kind of some trimming detail for the armor, so that when I color it, there's two separate colors on the forms. So it's important that you give meaning to your kind of subject structures. You know, sometimes it can be practical reasons. It can be like, oh, the character needs it for this purpose, etc. Or it can be there for aesthetics. But as long as it has some sort of backing behind it, it'll make your drawing look a little more intelligent, a little bit more sophisticated. So in my case, I'm trying to separate forms so that not only it shows you kind of the direction in the form. So like this line here shows you that it's rounding off. It makes it a little rounder. So like Seams are very nice to show kind of form. It makes things look a little more 3D. And this seam is actually way, way up. That's what happens when you don't think. See, it will help the eye figure out where the side is. Side, 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 side. And it goes this way, right? Not down here. That's not the side. The side's over here. Yes. So a lot of times design is design of the outfit is has a lot to do with um, um, accentuating, exaggerating, emphasizing. I guess that's the word. Emphasizing the structure and forms of objects. Um, and leads the eyes in certain specific areas where you want it to be. This stuff is not making any sense over here. Fix it up. Right. Happy holidays, Red. I'm glad you could make it. Merry Christmas, you guys. I'm a fan of Christmas. Yeah. I like Christmas. That right there. See there? That's a weak kind of... Actually, no. That's fine. That is fine. There's two colors here. So, like, it's going to be the main corset here. And then the trim up here. So there, that's resolves that there. What else do we have? Alright, let's go over some of the principles of character design. Alright, I think that's something that's lacking in some of these episodes is an overarching theme. And the last episode I kind of talked a lot about, not a lot, I kind of was all over the place, but it did help with the episode a little bit instead of just working. So today we're going to try to cover a little bit about character design. Where do you start? Where do you start when you want to design a character? Well, there are many places where you can start. It depends, right? Usually, for me, in this case, it starts with the brief. The brief or instructions from your client. The brief, if you don't have a client, then it's the brainstorming stage, if you want to do it for yourself. The brainstorming stage. So that's where you basically get your ideas together and your all your ideas, direction. So for example, this character here would be demon, right? Demon character. So like the first idea you want to come around is demon, and then what kind of, you have a general kind of idea of what you want. Demon. So you think about what kind of motifs or ideas embody that idea, like gothic or Victorian or vampire. You just basically make a list and literally make a list. You can draw those things out, but I find it having a list, written out list, is a lot faster. So start off with your list and even a bubble, so demon character, and then write out all your things that you want: vampire, gothic, and what else do we have? Like clothing, so like what am I trying to say? Dark elements, dark, evil, and also the character's personality is important. Like she's passive and all that stuff. So after you gather all your kind of ideas together, the second step is scour the internet for references. You're gonna find all your references, and you just basically make a folder for the character. And my dog's barking. And basically keep your references open. So let's just look at okay, I'm trying to figure out what I have left to do for this character. There's gonna be a couple things left. More trims. Again, see this line here shows kind of defines that it turns. It turned right there. And that's really the purpose of that line. I didn't just, hey, line, it has to make some sort of sense. Unless you're going for like random stuff. Right, so and this applies to the weapons, the shoes, the armor, all that stuff. Let's go over my the references. Alright, so these are some of the pictures that I use. So from my list of kind of anime books and character design books and all that stuff, I gather whatever sense looks relevant to the character design. In the illustration I had, what the concept is two sisters. They're sisters in my character as well. So anything with two people can apply. And look at all these nice kind of details on the sword and stuff. All that stuff is really nice. But for me, I gather to kind of more to become inspired and evoke emotion more so than actual like copying the stuff. So this would be for Emiko because she has to wear a dress. She's gonna be wearing a green dress. And this was from a video game, Wild Arms, and it's all on the internet. I like the dress how it had like layers. Like there's a layer over here, and then there's a under skirt under there, and something like this captures the emotion of the character. She's very timid, passive. So, let's see. I wasn't copying directly, but I was definitely inspired by it. See, there's a difference between copying and borrowing. This here is, it just looks kind of dark, but sweet, innocent, demonic at the same time. So again, it just embodies the feeling. I don't know really what I want. I'm not sure what I want. I just gather all these pictures to kind of. This was the reference that was given to me. Just a general idea. But the character is that. This one is for Chikara. And right now we're working on Emiko. Again, more of the... And Rihanna for the face reference. Again, sisters, Darkstalkers. This is for Record of Lotus Wars. Really cool anime. All these pictures, and then like this kind of headpiece, it's got this metallic gold head crown thingy, and it really shows kind of high status, and she looks kind of evil, right? So you want to try to figure out what are the things that make them look evil. So I gather all this stuff, and I pick and pull whatever I like, but I don't copy it exactly. Like for example, good example. See how they the frilly stuff goes around her neck? I also have something going around her neck, but it's not frilly. So I like that bow. So we think of a bow. Let me just put it on her neck. But I don't know if it'll look right. Let's see. Maybe some metal. And you can spend forever looking at just the references, but you gotta start drawing eventually. You can also look at like gods and goddesses from like different cultures. Using references from life is probably one of the best ways to get your references because you are getting inspired by the source instead of getting inspired by other artists, and it gives it more of a believable look. And then this is what makes your drawing really pops is when you look at real life kind of outfits and stuff. And that's what makes people say, "Wow, how did you get that idea?" A lot of times it's really from life. But when you copy other artwork, it kind of gives it like a contrived kind of look, like like you just made it up at the spot, or it resembles things that you've seen before, but it just doesn't feel right. That's something that you might run into from copying. All right, moving on. Yeah, so the difference between copying and borrowing, very, very different. Copying sometimes it can lead to stealing. If you're copying like exactly an exact kind of design, um, people can tell where you get it from. People of that subject that you take it from, they'll know, and that's not a good thing. I mean, you can borrow, and that's what I've been trying to do. You can become inspired, and sometimes copying things directly is fine if you like if it's something little like how they did like a bow. You want that exact kind of bow, things like that. General stuff. Um, it's okay, but try to be inspired and not copy so much. So yeah, that's the beginning stages of character design. You get your brief. You get it's if you're working for somebody, you're working for yourself, or yeah, just doing it for fun. You start off with an idea, and then you gather your information. Then that's probably one of the I like in school we spend like a whole week sometimes on just gathering our references, and then you have it open on the side and you just work. Um, you have them all open, get your references, and then you finally start your drawing. That's how I start anyway. You know, you do it long enough, you'll kind of like save those ideas in your head, and you won't have to look back as much. You kind of just you have an idea. A lot of times we all have ideas, and that's what makes our drawings unique. And it comes out. No one's the same, right? So your personality will shine through automatically. People are always wondering, where do I find my style? I don't want to copy. I want my own style. Just draw, and you draw long enough, you'll start to see patterns in your drawings, and it comes out naturally. So that's my advice to you. Just don't worry about too much, and just keep drawing. Your memory bank will start to give you that signature style you're looking for. What kind of influences you had throughout your life will influence the way your drawings will look. Um, we are, for the most part, products of our environment. Products of the environment. Can you guys hear my music? I'm going to be reading some questions before. I think I'm ready to go into colors, but I just want to know if you guys can hear my music, and if it's too loud, then this is probably going to be the last episode that we do. um, it's a diadem. Very nice. Thanks, Ghost. I can hear you. Yeah. I'm going to travel tomorrow to family Christmas dinner. Awesome. Nice. Always love big Christmas dinner. Yeah, going to watch some animes while I'm in the traveling bus. Sounds fun. What does everybody want for Christmas? What do you want to do for Christmas? Or what do you want to give to somebody for Christmas? Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's also important. Okay. Right. Back to the drawing. I think that covered just about everything in terms of character design. Character designing is like 70% research, and then 30% playing around with ideas. Very good. Thanks, Progstay. I got a phone ringing. Let's see here. Who the heck? Who the heck? Good. I like that the music's indistinguishable. That's nice because it kind of gives it like an ambient kind of sound. A lounge. Instead of like silence. Just lonely silence. Alright. Let's keep this rolling. Passive, timid. All that stuff, all these terms. Go look it up online and then see what you get. And oh, of course, anime, right? Gotta find anime. And for me, I don't look at Google so much. That's for like articles of clothing. Well, it depends. Look everywhere. But most of the images I get are from art books that I've collected throughout time. And it takes a while for you to get a hold of all those pictures. And I just look through the pictures and I say to myself, oh, what was that anime or what was that video game that had this sort of type of feel? And if you have like thousands of pictures to look at, if you have like a large collection, it's going to be a lot more difficult to find what you want. But there's also a nice thing about limiting what you have, limiting your references. So like you say, I want this, this, and this instead of like everything. Don't just gather to gather. You know, just because it's relevant to your drawing, don't just keep gathering. Otherwise, you'll never ever start. You'll never start working. So I suggest just enough so you can move forward. All right. Let's move this aside here. Yeah, I have a bad habit of collecting things. Okay, so when I look for references, I end up looking forever. So I'm speaking from experience. Alright, so my layers look like they're getting kind of crowded. get rid of some layers. Alright, so let's begin coloring this character. Follow along on my layers. The outline, see? We saved that for our, save that in a separate layer. And we can edit it whenever we want. If it's not bold enough, outline selection, not so big, just one. Probably won't keep this, what I'm about to do, just for example. See? That was quick. And it helps separate the character from the background. That's what outlines do. First of all, I'm going to set this here to the reference layer. Set to reference layer. So that when I select down here, so that when I select, that doesn't work there. Okay. There are holes. If there are holes, let's close the margin. A little bit. Close the gap. Where is? Oh, I know what's going on. See what I'm doing here is, look, I was trying to lasso the wrong layer. I was trying to lasso this right here. Of course, it's gonna go all over the place. There's big holes. Since the outline's on a separate layer, we want to be on the outline layer, and yeah, click all the negative spaces and reduce that. No. What the heck? I think that's all. All right. So. Yeah, I'd like to see what he drew as well. That'd be cool. Take that selection and flip it. Flip the selection by pressing Command Shift I, and at this point, I could merge the outline with the detail lines, the inside lines. I think I will do that in a second. Yeah, so if you're satisfied with the outside lines, just what you can do is duplicate it first and save that for later in case you need to put that something outline. It's good to label them outline or silhouette, either one. And got it inlines, I guess. And and then duplicate your outline for later if you need to dark. If you need the outline to be a little bit more bold, just put it aside. Then merge down the inlines with the outlines. And yeah. So labeling really didn't matter. But there. So why do we do this? Because we are going to use our clip mask tool here. Clip at layer below this thingy here. And I create new layers above it. I will basically turn it on. And say, for example, I want some skin color. I always start with my skin. Faster way of doing it is make a bunch of layers. Like this. Before you start coloring anything, just make a bunch of layers. Because you're going to need them. Skin. Look at your drawing, see what you got. We'll say dress. There are many elements to the dress. So you gotta break it down. Break it down for yourself. Make it simple. There's basically the dress, there's the armor, and then there's the sword. There's only three things there. Dress, armor, and sword. So, you want to limit yourself. You want to go crazy. Unless you got a lot of time on your hands. But between those, you want to have dress 1 and then dress 2 for the trimming. So dress 2, and you look at, there will be 1 dress, 2 trims, okay. I'd say 3 total. So two kind of colors for the dress overall, and then 1 for the trim. To give us a little movement in our drawing. And then armor. And then armor trim. Armor trim. And that's probably going to be like a gold. Because she's got like jewelry. So there might be another one for jewelry, but let's keep going. Eyes. Eyes 2. Usually eyes 2 is the white. So I just call it white. Because her teeth can be white. Whites of her eyes, whites of her teeth, just whites. And finally hair. Hair. Yes. So I've gathered myself. You know, it can look intimidating. You look at it and you're like, oh, where do I start? Break it down. Take a breath. I will fix that ghost. Let's turn up my input a bit. Come on. Sound. All right. Testing. Testing. Hello. Oh, really? Oh, man. Huh. How about now? Testing? Yeah. Pretty sure you can hear me. Alright. Okay, coming back here. Skin. Using my paint bucket tool, I will turn this as the reference layer here. Reference. So my outline is reference layer. And these two are blank for the moment. Alright, so bow. Ba-da, bam. Ba-da. Bay-bo, bum, ba, bay-bum. Bow. We need more vowels. Abu. And why do I do that? Why do I go all over the eyes and all that stuff? Because I want to make sure when I do white above that color, I know I cover that area. And since it's the color underneath, it won't matter. Block this off. I see a hole. Oh, I'm so happy it's moving kind of pretty smoothly. Skin. She's got a big hand. But you see that a lot actually. Big hands in anime. Am I gonna let her get away with it? Am I gonna let her get away with that? Alright, no. Let's not. Let's not do that. But she's a demon. Ugh. It really comes down to style, what you want. So let's fix it. I'm going to shrink her hand. It's been bothering me. It's one of those things where you say, "Nah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine." If you keep having to tell yourself it's fine, it's probably not fine. Because then you're gonna go to sleep and you're gonna think about it as you're sleeping. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. If it was fine, you wouldn't sound like you're going crazy. And in my case, I beat myself up about things that I can't, that bother me. I do. Is that a good thing? It makes me push myself. You know, make me push for something, whatever that is. If you're not happy with it, fix it, alright? But don't become obsessed. Yeah. I think that's safe to say. So if you're not happy with something, just fix it. I was worried about you guys not hearing my, music. Really? You can't even hear me. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I turned it down just to anticipate the music. Hey, Lucas, man. How you doing? Lucas. You guys are like my main viewers. Always down there. Much better. Alright, dress one. We don't have to get so serious about the color now. Run away. And serious, I mean by serious, I mean we don't need to be too specific. That's what I meant. Serious, specific. Come on. Come on, English isn't my first language. It's not. Which sometimes I feel like is the reason why I struggle so much speaking. Like what is that called? What? How do you say? But then again, I've heard some pretty sophisticated and well-spoken multilinguists. Okay, so we got all that there. Is there any more? Just a little bit of skin over here. color. I don't use green very much in my art. I gotta admit, it's not one of my favorite colors. I think it's a pretty color, just not on me. But yeah, I learned to appreciate it. Green is life. Correct. Who doesn't love life? Let's just fill in these little gaps here that we may have missed it. Now, here's, okay, let me just do something really quick to show you why using the clip layer is nice. Whoa! Yeah, yeah! Ooh! Ba-da-ba! Hey. That's why it's important. Need I say more? Dress 2. So we have a second layer for color for the dress. For now, we don't need to choose another color. We can just lighten it a bit. It's very safe. Monochromatic. Oh, analogous. I think that's the term we want to use. Analogous. Dress 2. What am I trying to say here? This is why it is nice to have that's why it's nice to have those clip mask layer. Because of madam. Sometimes, you know. But madam. Bet madam in my house all the time. When I rhyme on the madam, eating ham on the spam. When I ran for president, wait a second, that didn't work. And I'm missing lines. Look, see, I can go over that. It's fine. Because... what's volume difference? I can't control the volume of my voice! It's a Simpsons bit. If you're not familiar. Go tell your friends. Go tell your friends about this this channel. There's this crazy art dude who bet mad ends while he draws. So I don't have to stay in the lines too much, do I? Nah, it's fine. Watercolor doesn't adhere to the rules. Why should I? Why should I? That's a part of clothing, yeah? Yeah, sure, no, yeah, I guess. Yeah, Jet isn't a Korean name. That's for sure. It actually means heart in Cambodian. Heart, feeling. or like, to like somebody, or cut. It can also mean cut, but I don't like that one. It's all synonymous. I like the heart one, and more associated with kind of the feely, touchy kind of heart emotion. Yes. Like when you Joel jet means into heart. Joel into jet heart or feeling. That means I like or love. Like, yeah. So I'm heart. And my brother's name is Net. Yeah, his name is Net, but in English it's not Net. It's a little longer. Um, he should go by Net though, and Jet isn't my real name, but it's my Cambodian name, kind of household name, you know. The longer version is too hard to pronounce. It's not too long. It's V-Jet. V-Jet. V means nothing. It means, it's to accentuate it. It's to give it kind of a prettier sound, according to my mom and the culture. And my brother Sanet. San doesn't mean anything. Net is the root. Like John and Jonathan. And that's the history lesson behind my name. Let's continue. What the heck? Jet. I don't understand. Why not? Why you not let? Huh? Ah, wrong color. See, things like that can be pretty confusing. Using the wrong green. Wow, one of your favorite artists is Cambodian? That's amazing. Who was that? Yeah. Oh. No. Pull out. It's taking much longer than it should. Alright, so dress 3. Dress 3? What's dress 3? What the heck? I have a third dress? I believe the third part of the dress, which we may not want to tinker with too much. Let's just choose a darker color, and that giving our dress a third color. And this probably will also be, oops. Or maybe not that, maybe the whole dress. That'll work. That'll work. We can do that. Or we can do this here. Let's see another. Oh, let's see here. I'm gonna do another one. See if it works out. Alright, this is where it gets kind of tricky. Trying to decide what works best. Should the darker color be up here? Should it be just that top part? Let's make sure we can see what I'm doing. Darken it a bit more. So if I were to darken it a little more, and that's what I mean by the third color. Like that. So we have that, or we have this. There's so many options. Do we have the bottom part of her dress being the dark part, or is it the top part of her dress being the dark part? I don't want to overcomplicate it, but we do want to make it kind of interesting to the eye. I like the dress. That's nice. It's kind of yeah. I think it stands out a lot better this way. People have spoken. Let's delete this out. Again, kiss. Keep it simple. Stupid. The crazy awesome dude. KRH. Really? Cambodian? I thought I was the only one there. No, I'm gonna go. KHR? Wow, that's cool. He's got 10,000? That's crazy. Never heard of this guy. We'll have to check him out. KHR Memories. Armor 1. I like the blue. It already looks nice the way it is, but let's just, so that we can tell it's the armor and not the background color, change the color a little bit. Yeah. It's the song I'm listening to. Armor 1. Is a sword going to be the same color as their armor? Oh. It's fine as long as the layer's on top. We can change that layer later. No, no, no. No. Oh, shit. I believe her eyes were green. Are her eyes green? I'm not sure. Let's find out. Yeah, according to here, it's green. That's another hairstyle of hers. So, green's your color. And watch as I paint over everything here. What? And for the white, we just choose white. And that's why I paint out of lines. Because I don't think I had to do it so much. But just for example purposes. For instructional purposes, we can go out of the line. We can go out of the line. Am I speaking too low? I'm going to get a mic, a headset mic or something like that. So you can hear me breathing. Does it work? Light. What's up with the lines? Okay. It's got dark purple hair. Oh, that's super saturated. Even though it's okay, lay down any color you want. Just tone it down a bit. Options. Options can give me a headache. It's not the lack of options. It's the amount of options. It's just I don't know what to do sometimes. As long as you can attach some sort of meaning behind it, any kind of meaning, you know, and have that meaning come across the way you want it to. That's also important. Not just I wanted it to do this, and then you do like a kind of haphazard kind of detail or idea, and it doesn't really convey what you wanted. Then you've got to go at it again. Probably darken her eyelashes later. Okay, so that's what we got there. Oh, she's gonna have lips too. Lips there. This is gonna look crazy. This is gonna burn your eyes red. I guess if you're evil, you have lips. Or lipstick. The majority of the characters on. Oh, that's kind of pretty. That's kind of. Yeah, so I like to look at the big picture first, you know. Look at it at its polarized end, like its exaggerated end. Um, you know, don't look at it like. What? It's Janaea. She's asking me if I'm done with this one. Actually, I am live right now. Come join the show. All right. Yeah. So what I was saying was, don't be so subtle about some things. Try to figure that out later. Want to knock out the big stuff first. So if you're unsure about something, do it all the way light. Do it all the way really bright, really light, really dark. You know what I mean? It'll give you a better picture of something that you want. And then you can refine it by toning it down after you get the. It's really the art of simplifying everything. Try to figure out what the big picture is first. And jewelry. We're gonna have a lot of different layers. And the reason for having these layers is so that we can change the colors later. That's my main reason for having so many layers. Alright. Let me see. Armor. I didn't put anything for the armor's trim yet, so. Again, I don't have to think so much. I'm just going to go straight analogous. Analogous means the color next to the color you have. But this isn't so much analogous, but as it is monochromatic, just brighter. The trim is brighter. Analogous would be next to blue, green, or the other way, purple. Yeah, so I'm sorry, it's not analogous. It is just brighter, monochromatic. All these terms. It's to make our job easier so that we can explain to each other what we're talking about. But it seems to complicate things at times. Hey, let me know if I'm still too low. I will fix that. Maybe you should have asked that earlier. You got a good point, Zeta. It's a very good point. This has been bothering me. Yeah. This area here. See how she's like on a undersleeve? Yeah. Again, as I was saying, it's the art of simplifying things, and that's the hardest thing. We tend to overcomplicate things. Oh, this is a part. This should be a different color, and this should be a different color, and that's a different color, and maybe this is slightly different. You know what I mean? Organize your brain. Simplify it down. And what seems to be complicated really isn't complicated at all. It's very simple. I hope that makes sense. They are just kind of principles that I draw by, and they tend to work for me. Let's give a sword a color. Sword. I might just change the coal thing with the sword thing. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just change the color of the sword. So there's a separate kind of object on her. What color can we use? That would be more analogous. But we don't want it to go so trippy that it's... Oh. Golden. Red is complementary to green. And this is more subtle. A green sword. I do like the color that we had before. Just a little darker. I don't want to be too repetitive with her armor, though. That's fine. It's fine. We'll figure it out later. As long as it stands out from the dress. As long as it stands out from the dress. There's all these colors for the sword now. Started to look too complicated. I think it's fine the way it is, yeah. We'll adjust the colors later. First I'm going to get some... Draw a soda? What are you guys saying here? Do black lipstick. Black lipstick is win. If you screw up the whole lipstick, you can't understand that concept. Sounds fine now, bro. You are jet. Everything is maxed out here. Maxed out. Pizza. Blasphemy. Oh dear. Okay, so we've laid down basically all the colors, and what we do now. Wait a second. The armor trim needs another color. I'm missing. This needs another. Oh, needs another color there. That's good. Separation of colors. Oh, and the jewelry. We can do another one here. I'll call this. I consider this kind of a jewelry. Oops, wrong color. What the heck? Come on. You can do it. Yes. I want to throw on red somewhere. Well, her lips are red, so kind of. Chocolate pizza? Interesting. Alright, so we're gonna basically make sure we get all the colors that we want properly correct. Right? Right down. Alright, so yeah, I knew it. I knew it. Yeah, part of this thing here. There. Right. Starting with the dress. Make sure we got the right colors here. Overall, I think I want them all to be more darker, a little more desaturated. The bluish green's nice. I think I like that. Stay the way it is. Before we get any other sort of confusion, let's make sure this is darker. And in the trim, we can do like bright, not bright. Again, keep in mind, evil. Oh, blue. Woohoo. Woohoo. Oh, going greener. Going yellower. Ah. Sham sham. Sham sham. Blue and yellow, both analogous to green. Very nice. I think we will be going on the yellowish side. The armor, I like it. I like the way it is. How it's so just really stark and dark bluish. Like, really? You're gonna wear all these frilly colors, and then you're gonna wear this like stark, heavy-looking, dark metal armor? It's crazy. Red would be cool too. Oh man. Red would be cool because of the green. The green is complementary to red. But again, here's a rule for color or complementary colors. 5%, 5 to 10% of the entire drawing should be the complementary color. Do you understand? Because it will draw a lot of attention. If you want it like half red, half green, it's gonna look kind of zany. You know what I mean? Zany. That's kind of cool too. It does look kind of zany. I mean, it looks cool, but it's zany. In my head, it's just there's this power, there's this tug of war going on. So colors compete for attention. They do. It's just nature. The blue is very just. I like the blue. Purplish. We can hint at the red by going towards purple, but then it doesn't look very balanced. So for now, I think don't judge her. Yeah, I'm not judging. Ooh, maybe we can do reds with red trims. Ah. No, I think it's too much. It's too much. It's either all blue and red or all green and yellow, friends. Friendlies. I always like to do like yellow trims for armor. But we already did the trimming, the yellow trims for the dress, so I think yeah, see? We're just going to make it light blue. Not too much lighter. And desaturated. Saturated, desaturated. Desaturated just means more gray, less color. More saturated, more pure in color, and it becomes more neon and toxic, toxic glowing color. So, yeah. I think that's about right. And if I darken her armor a bit, yeah. Darken her armor just a little bit. We'll lighten up the darken the trim a little bit too, since I'm darkening the armor. Just so that it doesn't bounce around too much. I think if I bounce around, meaning like, so that the eye doesn't like get confused with all those trims. There's a lot of trimming going on. There's trimming formed by the dress layer. There it is again for the jewelry going over her waist right here, and then we have the armor as well. So we want to have them closer to each other, like stay close to the family in groups, and then within those groups, break them down. And that is how I do it. I was also considering one last thing, and that is to put trims on here. Like this, if I were to do a secondary color to and a lot of times it doesn't make sense until you finish it, like go all the way. Because if you do it, just do it all the way, and then see if you like it. Huh, it's kind of cool for the eyes. I thought it might be too much, but it's kind of cool. But that's also cool. What do you guys think? With or without? Who's leaving? Oh, Prague, stay. Take care, dude. See ya. Um, what do you guys think? With or without the stripes? Or without the stripes? See, am I trying to make it all neat and in the lines for right now? No, because I'm just trying to get the message across for myself. Ugh. Ugh. It's a Christmas tree. Let's go dark. Yeah, we can do subtle. Really subtle. Not so strong. See? It's like a blinking Christmas tree now. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. And if we want to, we can turn it off. Cool. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Sometimes I get a little timid, you know? Sometimes I'm a little timid. Afraid to take the plunge. Oh, I like the blue. I like the blues. Blues. Yeah, so I've toned it down a bit. This is before, this is after. It's there. It is there. Just tighten it up a bit, not too much. I think it'll look fine if it's. With, yes, with, but more desaturated and less bright. Oh. This is what I was trying to explain to you guys yesterday, how I manually chose the colors to bring out light, whereas for faster, you can just use the color dodge layer technique. If I were to do it like old school, I'd pick a lighter color, something like that, and lightly brush it in, and pull it out like that. See? And if I wanted to make it brighter along this area too, I'd have to come over here and brighten it right here like this. Like that. Manually choosing different colors as I go. Stop. Go back. Alright. I get there. You guys know Monkey Magic? Very cool. Or Magic Monkey? Magic Monkey or Monkey Magic? It's Monkey Magic with a J and a K. Magic. M-A-J-I-K. Very cool. Shout outs to Monkey Magic. What's going on here? Is this the same color or is it not? Oh, it's in a little illusion. Yeah, it's an illusion. This here isn't brighter than this. It just has lines around it. Trippy. Optical illusions. Oh, I'm using a pen. I never use a pen to outline. All right, let's continue on with the colors, adjusting. Oh, and skin. Skin looks fine the way it is, but we can try to mess with it a little bit. She is a demon, so I'm thinking more like lighter pale. She has more pale skin. I don't know. I'm just thinking pale skin. You know, like less life. You know, that would be kind of cool. Um, yeah. Hold on, let me just go turn on the light real quick. Okay. Oh, right. Her hair. Changing the hair color. According to the brief, her hair is slightly purple. I think. Well, that's the color I went with. Or was it that she had black hair? Let me read the brief. It says here. Emiko might give Chaka a bit dominating feel, considering Emiko isn't that important, but mentioned a lot in book 1. She's obsessed with her. Long black hair with emerald eyes. Oh. Long black hair. Okay. Maybe we should make her hair longer? Yeah. Okay, so she has black hair. It's fine with me. I like black hair. See that? Do you see that? That's what happens when you gotta take the first layer right here. Let me show you what's going on here. Alright. Bada boom bam. They're all referring to this layer down here. They're all clipping off this layer. So whatever is off of this layer affects these layers. So you can't draw anything new unless this has it. So let's just go back, figure out what color we were using. This is the color. To single out the layer like that, holding on to Option and then pressing it will give you just that layer. Little things I discovered along the way. Again, let's go back to that. Using Option, eyedropping that color, and drawing in with my let's see how long should it be. Here, I squint my eyes. Imagine. Now it shall allow. Oh no! Her jewelry her waist thingy is blocking the way. Ah! And I left this space here because the negative spacing helps, you know what I mean, to narrow her waist a little bit. If I block that area out, it will tend to... Should we go down here? What? Oh. It's making it very difficult for me. So it can get kind of tricky if you don't know what you're doing with the different layers. Let's erase this part out here. We can add lines to it later, but oops. So what did I just do? I wanted to follow a form of her body instead of just like down, you know. That flattens out the drawing. So what I've done is I've kind of arced it over here over her chest, and then it comes down at this angle here. It curves back down, and I did a little draw through, and you can erase it back. And since it's on a separate layer, it makes our job so much easier. Okay. It's already been an hour, huh? Hour 25 minutes. Well, I think we'll do this for about 2 hours. Definitely could have done this a lot faster, but I talk too much. It's really messy looking over here. What's going on? And what's going over there? Why are there holes? Probably because the skin didn't block it out all the way. It's all skin. Okay. Okay. I think we got it. I think we got all the colors that we wanted. The hair is long now, and her hair has lines through it. Let's just erase that out. Fine detail. It always hurts just a little bit when you erase your details and information that you put down. Just a little bit. But again, sometimes good things come out of your sacrifice. You know? A sacrifice. And it's not really a sacrifice. If you look at it, a cup half empty, it's a sacrifice. It's more of an investment. I'm investing in the new approach. And that's good. Adding a little more detail here. Well, what's going on over here? Sometimes anime will just pitch black areas like that. It's fine. Doesn't look right though. It's fine, but it doesn't look right though. How are you guys doing? You guys drawing? You guys getting stuff out of this? Well, I'm afraid I'll have to leave. Peoples, perhaps I'll be back. All right, Zeta Wolf, take care, bud. We're gonna add some shadows. So first thing, let's just look here. Look over here, guys. Go over this over and over again. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to put all this stuff in one folder. This. Boom. Turn off that clip function there. Alright. And I'm going to make 3. Yes, it will arch official. It sure will. Certainly. I'm going to make about 4 different layers, 4 different new layers. The first one, are you ready for it? Can be either the light or the shadow, but I think we'll do the nudie. Let me think. We'll do the shadow first. So shadow, and then we'll do the soft shadows, and then light, and then soft light. Okay. All right. So shadows first. What color am I going to use? What color am I going to use? I like to use the skin color of the character for the shadow. Set this to multiply. Set this one down to multiply. No, this one's going to be color burn. I want to show you that when we get there. Color dodge for the light, and then soft light also color dodge. Alright, and then we want it to affect only the drawing below. So like for example, if we had the shadow, alright, let's just do this. If I had the shadow, see that? If I did the shadow there, let's choose darker shadow actually. Make it very clear. So see, for example, I had that, and then oh no! I went out the lines. No, no, right? So to have it only affect what we want, we turn on this clip layer tool. Did you see it disappear? See? Now, why did I put them inside the folder? It will only work if it's in the folder. Because if it's outside, it'll only affect the first. It will only affect the first layer that's on top. The first one, and that's it. You know what I mean? But since it's in a folder, it will affect everything within that folder. Yeah. Alright, so let's keep the shadows kind of simple. I've learned not to overcomplicate shadows. There's two ways of applying shadow. Right now we're drawing them in manually like this. Well, manually is we are drawing shadows in as opposed to pulling shadows out. All right. There's the other way where we basically fill the whole entire character in shadow like that. All right. Let's just do the face this way. And then we take the eraser tool, and then we erase out the light. Two ways. And this works well for like really, really strong lighting. You know? As you can see, it gets complicated as you try to pull out more lights though. Again, there's more light than I'll do this style for like really dark atmospheric kind of scenes. I'll use that technique. But since there's more light than there is shadow, I'll just I'd rather prefer just drawing it in instead of erasing it out. It's kind of tricky. Now I can also draw the colors, the shadows out instead of erasing it. You go like switching to eraser tool, which is D for me, quick select, a hotkey for it. But you can just draw it out using this transparent function. You're literally erasing, but using the pen as the eraser. More anime. The method, it's a classic method. Many classic masters like Monet and Rembrandt, anybody who were masters of like light and shadow would paint the light out, especially Monet. Most of his drawings are like so dark and moody, and then there's a little bit of light pulling out. Let's just look at a quick picture of Monet, and it's a good idea to study from your masters, Monet. Yes. Monet or Manet? Rembrandt? Is that Monet? Sorry, not Monet. Oh, not Manet. This guy's good with colors. What am I trying to think of? Ah, my brain. Monet or Manet? Let's see, Manet. Forgot his name. Maybe it was Rembrandt. Ah, yes, it's Rembrandt. Rembrandt. Yeah. You see? And look how everything's pretty much dark, and he pulls the light out just like that. That's the technique that I was using. So a lot of these techniques can be traced way back, and if you ever drawn on like black paper or like tone paper, where everything's just brown or whatever tone, you're essentially using the same method to do it. For And there's really no right way of doing things. It's just your preference of doing things. And this hair color right here, it's wrong. It's all wrong. It's the hair. Hair. What the heck? What color am I using? Yes, pulling the lights out is a very natural way of making light appear natural. Making it very moody, depending on what kind of lighting you want. So right now I'm focusing on mainly cast shadows. Mainly cast shadows, limiting it. Hitting those crevices. Corners. Lifting the drawing up. Making it more 3D. Three-dimensional. Cast shadow turns into form shadow. Whoa, what's going on over here? I can shadow this stuff out. Let's just knock them down quicker. I used a different color actually than what I used for the face. And so finding that color is going to be difficult. Armpit? Oh yeah, it's kind of delayed. So in this sense, we're doing form shadows. Form shadows. And you begin to start to feel its form and its three-dimensionalness. Alright. Let's just try to match the colors. So I don't know what the color is I'm using. It's brighter. That's on her face, the shadow. I'm trying to find that color is going to be difficult. So instead of finding that color, just turn on this here. It's the lock transparent pixels, and then like that. So now it's consistent, but it's kind of super dark. So I used a lighter. I guess I'll just keep that, a lighter color for her face. What you can also do is move her face over, turn this off, select it out like this, then undo it. Yeah. Lock the transparency tool. Since we already color picked it, in hindsight, I should have used white instead of green. I should use dark blue and white instead of green. Actually, in hindsight, that was my instructions. That's the color she wears in the book. She wears a green dress. So I don't understand why I would be using blue. And then we can just darken it a little bit here, this way. Yeah. This shadow may be a little too strong. Alright, now we're gonna erase some of this stuff. Hey, what's up, Ghost? Yeah, man, you watched your movie. Time and space. Is that her power? You gotta fill me in on this because I'm not sure what her powers are. You think time and space is more blue? Well, that's your opinion. I think it can be whatever color you want it to be, as long as you put it into context. You know, like when you make a name for something, you always ask yourself, what's the perfect name? What's the perfect name? You don't really need to worry about that. If you add value to your name by producing a good product, the value is attached to the ah, thanks. Thanks, Janaea. Yeah, she controls time using she can stop and control time. Yeah. What I was saying was yes, value, it comes with like, well, merit. You give it value, not the name itself doesn't have any value. Like Google doesn't have a value until you give it history. My point is basically, it can be really any color you want. Like, okay, she's wearing green. Um, you can make it relevant to the time, depending on whatever story is attached to her. Like the green dressed wearing demon girl who controls time. Goes. Well, I guess she doesn't look like she controls anything. Maybe she just does it. She's got like a forehead crown. Okay, that's where the power comes from. I don't know. Wow, you know your stuff, Lucas. Janaea, why don't you join the chat? Help answer some questions. Listen to what the people are saying. They've read your book. In hindsight, huh? Well, we can always change the color, but that's with Janae's opinion and permission. That's what I meant to say. But I like the green. I do. All right. Very good point, Artificial. Very good point. Yeah, we kind of have that, kind of like fallback kind of method. Green is trees, red's fire, stuff like that. I think if you can kind of branch away from that and just make it work in your story, I think that's also kind of a very, very nice touch technique of storytelling. barely see the shadows in her hair. That's alright. Stripes actually have some depth in them. Folds. Some what? Casella South. This guy knows his stuff. Almu Hinamori. There we go. She's the writer of this story, guys. You guys want something? Talk to her. She will make it happen. There's your chance, you guys. You guys can talk to Amu. Amu's Danae, famous writer. Blow your cover. I think I sense it to you. Amu. Amu, Hamam Home. I blew your cover. Hina Mori. let's lower her down a little bit. I'll come back. Zeta Wolf. Alright, Delofast. Take care, buddy. Oh no. Just got your message. Raise your bet, madams. There's two major lines. Two two sizes. One thick one and one slightly thinner one. And that's for the outline. The outline is slightly thicker than the stuff that's inside. Like this part, it's a little thinner, making it less puffy. This is quite messy down here. So if you zoom in, you can see a lot of the messiness. Alright, and then this part here. Consistency, make sure the shadow goes all the way through underneath to the other side. And yeah, come to an end with this dress here. Outline for the whole character, outline for sections like the gauntlet, for example, or the sword, and then details and there's just two, one for the whole entire character, and then everything else in between it is another layer. And it would probably be a good idea to use slightly thicker lines for, like, say for example, this line up here, this one here, and this side here. See how it's overlapping? Not this stuff here, because they're so close to each other. It's not like off the object. Yeah, so anything that's floating, like her gauntlet here, slightly off her dress, you want to use slightly thicker line. In this case, I didn't differentiate it too much, so I wasn't too picky about that. Almost done. Yeah. All right. We can flip it over this way just to see if everything looks balanced. So missing some here. Um, her arm would cast kind of a shadow over the sword, pulling it back. Yeah, vary your lines up. Just remember what numbers you use. Like if I were to be using the outline, I would use like a 7.6 line, you know. And then if you're going to stuff below it, I mean inside of it, use a 0.4, just two pixels smaller. I don't feel like the shadow would curve her face in that much, right around the area. Also gotta be consistent here. Alright. Start doing the lights. That's a very good. That's a very good idea. Arch. Yeah. Falling back on the undo button. do that sometimes. My hand is like constantly hitting undo. Everything. I'm not much of a direct artist. Direct painter, sorry. And that means drawing directly on top of your layer, one layer, and building off of it. It takes a level of commitment for that. And one isn't better than the other, just preference, or depending on style. If you want to go for more graphic, layers is probably the best way to go about it. Okay, I think we've done enough shadows for now. Let's move on to more shadows here. Yeah, let's go on to the soft shadows. My spray can or soft round brush if using Photoshop. Using the same color. See? Adding kind of a semi-gradation. Not a lot. Just areas. Then you go to your light. What is it for that? Using semi-gray, grayish black. Use let's use the pencil tool for this. Since I did that for I used the pencil tool for Shikara. So we can go slightly brighter than that. Since your hair is so dark, it's gonna be hard to see those. Dark pencil. See the lines where it changes direction right there, kind of distorts the highlight a little bit, not making it work the way I want it to. So, for example, let me just get rid of it. your eyes first. I don't like that part. You don't need to highlight everything. Quick clothes would be so shiny. So her armor, on the other hand, would be much shinier. No, no, no. Alright. I have to go silence the dog outside real quick. Be right back. BRB, guys. BRB. Oh, dog's quiet. Okay. I think it's a little bit of shine won't hurt. Nah. It's messy. Do I like Thomas Dolby? Not sure who that is. Familiar. Sounds familiar. Art. Obviously, Apple's more than paper. Yeah, Jet, what do you have to give on a line? I seem constantly go over some lines. Hold on. When do you have to give up on a line? I seem to constantly go over some lines because I don't like them. And then I just have to a ton of erase crap. There or a thick line. I think that you want to try your best, you know. Don't kill yourself over it. Get something done, down, and move on. Um, your perfect, your best drawing isn't like the one you like you force. You know, don't force it. Comes with time, you know. It takes practice. So again, just put your pencil down, take a break, go away, come back at it the next day, and see how it comes out. Because literally, your brain has to process the stuff that you're trying to learn. So don't give up. Don't just settle, but definitely take a break and see how well you do that the next day. Also, make sure you utilize the tools such as this thingy here. Like this. See? This thing here. It's called a figure. Click, pull, like that. I didn't have this, growing up, starting off. So, but hey, it works, And with your pencil, just grab, shift, grab, yeah. No, click, keep your pen down, hold on to shift, lift up your pen. You can stretch for straight lines. Right? So practice with that. It's all fair game. No shame in using those things. I mean, if it helps your drawing, do whatever it takes, man. This is lacking a line. Doggy. How long has it been? Started this at 4. 2 hours, 20 minutes. Wow. Time sure flies. These highlights here are a bit blotchy. Going to fix it. Erase it. Limiting it. That. Okay. I've worked with pen for a long time. Get better with learning how to make a good line. Yeah, drawing with pen is good. Makes you more confident. Just try your best with pen, and over time you get better. It really helps with confidence. I'll use your pen thing, especially first person work, when no one really cares how you get it done. But it's nice to be able to perfect. You know what I mean? Yes, that's also a good point. Because at some point you will have to just produce something. If what you're trying to produce is the look of using a pen, then do it. But if you're trying to get a job done, use what's most efficient, unless the job requires you to make it look like you were using a pen. But it definitely does help you with speed and being confident with your lines. In what I'm doing, it doesn't really apply because my drawing is it's a matter of cleaning, refining. It's if you're going pen, that's kind of a trade where you're trying to just be fast and sketch and practice. It's good for practicing, getting there. It's also good for producing finished work too. But again, that's depending on that type of work you're going for. Okay. All right, so let's do that. Some soft lights. Again with the spraying paintbrush. To give it that nice finish. And I chose to do it over everything else because this kind of ambient lighting, or the light bleeds into shadow. So, for example, I can do that. If it was underneath, it wouldn't work. Do that. It's shining so hard that it makes like a smoky kind of light. Right down the center, giving it a rounded feel. And you don't want to overdo it because you don't want to look too graphic. It's gonna look kind of cheap unless you go throughout your whole entire painting and really push for that look. The Bee Gees. Bee Gees are cool. What I'm listening to isn't the Bee Gees. It's Tiara, Korean group. They use very Bee Gees look sounding type of theme. But check them out; they're really cool. It's called Roly Poly, Tiara. Feel like it's missing something. Missing something. Staying Alive. How deep? How deep is your love? Is that by them? How deep is your Yes, that's uh that's a good idea. Might work. Might work. Might not. Give it a shot. Yeah, sometimes you feel like you're stuck at something. Just move on. Move to the next stage. Very good point. This part looks a little clunky. Yeah, this part of the sword looks a bit clunky. And I believe it's due to this line here. Maybe we move it over. It'll thin it out a bit. See how it's flattened it a little bit? Up here gives it, it's so fat. You come over here, it's like, come down. No? You don't want to go down? Okay. Guess I gotta move it again. A little bit. Turn. And light here. So, let's see here. It's a little better. Oh. There I go again with those highlights. When will I learn? It's alright. Some dapper? Dapper folds. No! Slowing down. I won't let it. yes, it is amazing what some shadows can do. Very simple lines. You may think, oh, it's so simple looking. But really, that's all you need. Because I think all those details and lines, it's going to help. But you also got to consider the fact that you're going to be adding a lot of shadows and lights. Yeah. Coming to an end. Coming to an end, you guys. This is the hardest part. The hardest part of the show. Saying goodbye. I still have the background left to do. We may do that together. I don't know. But it just takes time. I gotta look for references and all that stuff, and maybe I'll just gather the references before I start show live. Alright, so look at this level of layers. You got this layer here for the for that top part. It would be a lot closer to the dress right here, like this, because it didn't jump off the dress so far that it's causing a shadow far away. So what? It's slowing down. Okay, and right there. But my point was, we got that, and then the shadow right here for this, the pelvis armor, I guess that would be, casts a shadow here, but then it goes lower right here, showing that that's a different layer of clothing. If it was equal, then it would be like really close, but it's just gives you that illusion of depth in layers. Okay. So it looks like my computer's had enough. It's like getting mad at me right now. I don't know why. Oh, you know what's bugging me? This thing right here. And then after we do that, we gotta draw the skin back in. Oh. I think that's the case. Oh, that's hair. How's hair coming through? Yeah. Better. Yeah, it's slowing down for me here. It could be because of all the layers that I got. do want her eyebrows to be a little higher. Might be a little difficult to do. Oops. She is. If we were to change the clothing a little bit, what would happen? Blue is desaturated. Desaturated, brighter, a little darker. Thanks, Amu. You're awesome. Oops. That's a bit much. Alright, let me show you this little sum. See how the light lit that side up? This side is further away from the eye. Whatever's closer towards us or the light is a little brighter. Put a little bit there. Not too much. Right? That's how you create dynamics. Let me use the mouse. Do it. But there's different levels of brightness everywhere. It's not the same intensity. Matter of fact, we could tone it down just a bit more in some areas than others. Like this. So I'm just gonna erase it like this, using the circle round brush, or in this case, spray can, and using the transparent function here. Not painting in the color that would brighten it. I will be erasing it out. So slightly erase it, erase it, erase it. This area here is the brightest area, as opposed to this area. So they don't compete for attention. Even this and this are kind of the same value. Tone that down a bit and give our eye more focus in this area here. Yeah. And as for this thingy thing, this thing kind of pops off so much that it overlaps this side, and that's really bugging me. I don't want it that high. Just bring it out. Back to my pencil. I want it kind of something like that. Where is the rest of that on the armor layer? Just trying to figure out which layer it's on. Oh, the dress probably didn't cover it all the way, yeah. Hey, thanks, Zeta Wolf. We'll see you next time. With that, I think we're done for now. For now. So yep, that's about it, you guys. Thanks so much for stopping by. Really appreciate it. It was fun. You guys had some pretty cool insight from me. Helped me out, and well, let's do it. Actually, let's do a little shout out to the book. A little plug for the book, you guys. The book is available for you guys at Amazon. Check it out. I'll have the links below, but book 1 and 2 are available now, and you can buy them at Amazon. So Amazon. Actually, maybe that's a little bit. Yeah, let's do our searches off to the side, maybe. You guys want to keep the search results kind of personal. But you will find that if you watch the video again, yes, I was watching Naked and Afraid. It's a fun Discovery Channel show. It's where people go into the jungle. Fight for their survival. Buck naked. But it's all censored. It's a fun show. It's like a real reality show on Discovery Channel. And they go to like Africa and the jungles and stuff. It's pretty cool. Anyways. Element Princess. Yeah. Yeah, I guess you gotta be careful about what you look for online. But there it is, Element Princess. Check it out. And you'll find that you can get the digital version for $4. And hardcover 26, paperback 17. And yeah. Go check it out. And then also they have book 2. Let's see here. Book 2. And it's out. So yeah, please go check it out, you guys. It's just released. They decided to fund it on their own, and because we got a lot of attention through the Kickstarter, but yeah, we dug deep into, well, they did in their own pockets to fund it and get it out to you guys, so that I can produce these videos for you guys. So definitely support them. Without them, I wouldn't be doing this. So definitely, that's that, and that's about it, you guys. Take care, happy holidays, and I'll catch you guys next time. We'll probably be doing the background for our next video. Okay? Alright. Peace. Merry Christmas.